Did you know some of the foods in your kitchen could poison your cat in minutes? In this video, you'll discover 14 dangerous human foods that can cause everything from stomach pain to organ failure, even when eaten in small amounts. Let's begin with the most common one. Number 14. Chocolate. Chocolate may be a sweet treat for humans, but for cats, it's a dangerous toxin. The main culprit is theobromine, a bitter compound that our bodies can process easily, but a cat's liver breaks down very slowly. This means even a small amount can quickly build to harmful levels. While most cats don't naturally crave chocolate, curiosity or attraction to creamy desserts can lead them to take a lick or nibble. Symptoms of chocolate poisoning can appear within hours and often start with vomiting, diarrhea, drooling, and restlessness. As toxicity increases, it can cause tremors, seizures, abnormal heart rhythms, and in severe cases, death. The darker the chocolate, the more dangerous it is. Dark and baking chocolates contain the highest levels of theobromine. For an average 8-pound cat, less than half a square of baking chocolate can be enough to cause serious symptoms. Prevention is simple but vital. Keep all chocolate, cocoa powder, and chocolate-based desserts out of reach. Be cautious with foods that have hidden cocoa content, like brownies, frosting, ice cream, or protein bars. If you suspect your cat has eaten chocolate, even if it's just a lick, call your veterinarian or an animal poison control hotline immediately. Number 13. Salt. Salt might be a harmless seasoning for humans, but for cats, it can act like a potent toxin. Their bodies are far smaller than ours, and their tolerance for sodium is extremely low. Just 41 milligrams, roughly a pinch, can begin pushing them towards salt poisoning. This condition, also called hypernatremia, disrupts the delicate fluid balance in their cells, causing dehydration, tremors, fever, vomiting, and in severe cases, dangerous spikes in blood pressure that can damage the heart and brain. Unlike humans, cats don't sweat to regulate temperature, and their kidneys are easily overwhelmed by excess sodium. This means the effects of salt toxicity can escalate quickly, sometimes within hours. Common culprits include salty snacks like pretzels, popcorn, chips, and cured meats. But there are hidden dangers too. Canned soups, broths, gravies, and even some pet treats contain surprisingly high sodium levels. What seems like just a taste to you could be enough to harm them. If you suspect your cat has eaten something salty, offer fresh water immediately to help dilute the sodium in their system, and monitor for symptoms like excessive thirst, lethargy, loss of coordination, or seizures. Number 12. Raw fish, eggs, and meat. It's easy to imagine that cats can handle raw meat just like their wild ancestors, but centuries of domestication have changed both their immune systems and their digestive defenses. Today's house cats are far more vulnerable to pathogens and nutritional imbalances from uncooked foods. Raw fish poses a unique threat because it can contain thiaminase, an enzyme that breaks down vitamin B1, thiamine. Without enough thiamine, a cat's nervous system begins to falter, leading to symptoms like loss of appetite, muscle weakness, disorientation, and in severe cases, seizures or even death. Raw meat and eggs carry another danger: Salmonella and E. coli. These bacteria can trigger severe food poisoning in cats, causing vomiting, diarrhea, fever, and dehydration. And because they can be transmitted to humans, you could get sick simply by handling contaminated food or cleaning your cat's litter afterward. Raw egg whites add yet another risk. They contain avidin, a protein that binds to biotin, vitamin B7, and blocks its absorption. Over time, biotin deficiency can cause dry, itchy skin, brittle fur, dermatitis, and poor coat quality. Cooking meat, fish, and eggs not only kills harmful bacteria and parasites, it also neutralizes dangerous enzymes while preserving the nutrients your cat needs. Number 11. Avocados. Avocados may be a trendy health food for humans, but for cats, they hide a toxic secret. The The danger comes from persin, a fungicidal toxin found in all parts of the avocado plant: flesh, skin, pit, and even the leaves. While cats are generally less likely than dogs to consume large amounts, their bodies cannot process persin effectively, making them vulnerable to illness even from small exposures. A nibble of avocado flesh might not be fatal, but it can cause gastrointestinal upset, vomiting, diarrhea, and abdominal discomfort. In more serious cases, persin can inflame the pancreas, leading to pancreatitis, a painful and potentially life-threatening condition that often requires hospitalization. The skin and pit contain higher concentrations of persin, and the pit poses an additional danger. It's large, hard, and slippery, making it a serious choking hazard or cause of intestinal blockage if your cat tries to play with or chew it. Avocado-based foods like guacamole, smoothies, salads, or avocado toast are equally unsafe not only because of persin, but also because they often contain onions, garlic, salt, or spices, which are toxic to cats in their own right. Number 10. Milk and dairy. The image of a happy cat lapping milk from a bowl is one of the oldest stereotypes in pet culture. But in reality, most adult cats can't digest dairy properly. As kittens, they produce lactase, the enzyme that breaks down lactose, the sugar in milk, from their mother's milk. After weaning, lactase production drops dramatically, leaving most cats lactose intolerant. When they drink milk or eat dairy products like cream, cheese, or yogurt, the undigested lactose ferments in their gut, leading to stomach cramps, bloating, diarrhea, and gas. Even kittens aren't built for cow's milk. It contains more lactose and different fat ratios than a mother cat's milk, making it harder to digest and less nutritionally suitable. Feeding dairy regularly can also crowd out essential nutrients from a balanced feline diet, potentially leading to deficiencies over time. And while some cats may appear to tolerate small amounts, the digestive strain still exists behind the scenes, potentially irritating the gut and contributing to chronic digestive issues. If you want to offer a milky treat, choose lactose-free cat milk products specifically formulated for feline digestion. The truth is, cats don't need dairy in their diet at all. Fresh water and nutritionally complete cat food are all they require. Number 9. Nuts. Nuts may be packed with healthy fats for humans, but for cats, they're a risky snack with multiple dangers. Most varieties, like almonds, walnuts, and pecans, are extremely high in oils and fats that a cat's digestive system isn't built to handle. Ingesting them can quickly cause stomach upset, vomiting, and diarrhea, and in more severe cases, pancreatitis, a painful inflammation of the pancreas that can require urgent veterinary care. The risks don't stop at digestive distress. Nuts have hard, uneven shapes that can lodge in a cat's throat, creating a choking hazard or get stuck further down in the digestive tract, leading to intestinal blockages that often require surgery to remove. Some nuts are even more dangerous. Macadamia nuts, for example, can cause weakness, tremors, lethargy, and elevated body temperature in cats, even in small amounts. Nuts often hide in places you might not expect. Granola bars, cookies, brownies, trail mix, and certain breads can contain pieces of nuts along with other cat-toxic ingredients like chocolate or raisins. While cats typically aren't drawn to nuts for their flavor, their natural curiosity and playful instincts may lead them to bat them around like toys, making accidental ingestion more likely. Number 8. Raw yeast dough. Raw yeast dough may seem harmless, but in a cat's body, it becomes a dangerous chemical factory. The risk isn't just the yeast, it's what the yeast does once it hits the warm, moist environment of your cat's stomach. There, the dough continues to rise, expanding like a balloon and stretching the stomach painfully. This can lead to gastric dilation, a dangerous and potentially life-threatening condition that can impair breathing and restrict blood flow to vital organs. The trouble doesn't stop at expansion. As yeast ferments, it produces ethanol, alcohol, as a byproduct. Even small amounts of alcohol are toxic to cats. And in this case, it's being released directly inside their digestive system. This can cause symptoms of alcohol poisoning such as drooling, vomiting, staggering, or loss of coordination, difficulty breathing, lethargy, tremors, and in severe cases, coma or death. It doesn't take much dough to cause serious harm, especially in smaller cats where just a few bites can be enough to trigger a medical emergency. Any raw dough made with yeast, bread, pizza dough, rolls, poses the same risks. When you're baking, keep dough in a covered bowl or inside an oven that's turned off during proofing, and never leave it unattended on a counter where curious paws can reach it. Number 7, citrus fruits. Oranges, lemons, limes, grapefruits, and other citrus fruits might smell fresh and invigorating to us, but for cats, they're a cocktail of irritants and toxins. The main culprits are citric acid and concentrated essential oils found in the flesh, peel, seeds, and leaves. Even a tiny lick of orange juice, lemon zest, or grapefruit pulp can trigger drooling, vomiting, diarrhea, and muscle tremors in cats. In larger amounts, these compounds can strain the liver, leading to potentially serious illness. Citrus peels are especially risky because they contain limonene and linalool, plant-derived chemicals that can irritate the skin and mouth on contact. If your cat rubs against a discarded peel or chews on a citrus plant, you might see immediate signs of discomfort, like pawing at their mouth, shaking their head, or quickly retreating from the source. The danger isn't limited to eating citrus. Inhaling strong citrus aromas from essential oils, candles, air fresheners, or citrus-based cleaning products can irritate your cat's respiratory system, causing coughing, sneezing, watery eyes, or labored breathing. Cats are highly sensitive to airborne toxins because their livers can't process certain compounds effectively, making even indirect exposure risky. Number 6. Tuna. It's no secret that many cats go absolutely wild for tuna, so much so that they'll come running the second they hear a can open. But while tuna can be an irresistible treat, it's not a nutritionally complete food for cats. Feeding tuna as a primary diet over time can lead to nutrient deficiencies, especially in vitamin E, which plays a key role in protecting body fat from oxidation. A severe lack of vitamin E can cause steatitis, a painful condition where the fat under the skin becomes inflamed, making even gentle petting uncomfortable. Tuna also contains trace amounts of mercury, a heavy metal that builds up in the body over time. Regular or excessive tuna feeding can result in mercury poisoning with symptoms like loss of coordination, muscle weakness, and in extreme cases, seizures or neurological damage. Another hidden issue is tuna addiction. Some cats develop such a strong preference for tuna that they reject all other foods, making it challenging to provide a balanced diet. This can set off a cycle where the cat's health declines due to missing nutrients, yet they refuse anything else. If you do offer tuna, keep it as an occasional treat rather than a staple meal. Choose tuna packed in water with no added salt, oil, or seasonings, and limit portions to avoid overloading your cat with protein and heavy metals. Number 5. Bones. Those classic cartoon scenes of cats happily gnawing on fish skeletons may look charming, but in Kustier's reality, bones, whether cooked or raw, pose serious risks. The biggest danger is splintering. When chewed, bones can break into sharp fragments that can lodge in your cat's throat, pierce the soft tissues of the mouth, or puncture the esophagus, stomach, or intestines. Such injuries are not only excruciating, but can lead to life-threatening infections if not treated immediately. Cooked bones are especially hazardous because the cooking process makes them more brittle, increasing the likelihood of splintering. Even raw bones, which are often promoted as safer, can still cause harm, particularly in cats whose teeth and digestive systems aren't designed to handle dense, hard bone material. Beyond the risk of punctures, intact bones can also cause intestinal blockages, preventing food from passing through the digestive tract. This can quickly become an emergency requiring surgery. Small bones, such as those from chicken wings, fish, or ribs, are the most dangerous because they can be swallowed whole or in large chunks. To protect your cat, always check meat and fish thoroughly before serving, ensuring every bone is removed. Dispose of bones in a sealed trash bin or compost container your cat cannot access, as cats can be surprisingly resourceful scavengers. Number 4. Grapes and raisins. Grapes and raisins may be healthy snacks for humans, but for cats, they're deceptively dangerous. Even in tiny amounts, these fruits can trigger acute kidney failure, a condition where the kidneys suddenly stop filtering toxins from the blood. What makes them especially tricky is that the exact toxic compound remains unknown, meaning there's no safe variety or form. Whether fresh, dried, seedless, or juiced, all grapes and raisins carry the same deadly risk. Symptoms of toxicity can appear within just a few hours. Early warning signs include vomiting, loss of appetite, weakness, and unusual lethargy. As the condition progresses, your cat may develop increased thirst and urination, followed by a sudden decrease in urine output as the kidneys begin to shut down. Without immediate veterinary intervention, the damage can become irreversible, and death can occur within days. While cats are less likely than dogs to steal grapes or raisins outright, they may encounter them accidentally. Foods like trail mix, granola bars, baked goods, or fruit salads often contain hidden pieces, and even a single raisin dropped on the floor can be enough to cause harm. If you suspect your cat has eaten even one grape or raisin, treat it as an emergency and contact your veterinarian or an animal poison control hotline immediately. Number 3. Caffeine. For humans, caffeine is the go-to pick-me-up found in coffee, tea, sodas, chocolate, and energy drinks. But for cats, it's a potent and dangerous stimulant that their bodies can't process efficiently. Even tiny amounts can lead to a rapid buildup of caffeine in the bloodstream, overwhelming their nervous and cardiovascular systems. Symptoms can appear within an hour of ingestion. Early signs include restlessness, pacing, hyperactivity, and tremors, followed by rapid breathing, elevated heart rate, and in severe cases, seizures or collapse. Because cats are much smaller than humans, it doesn't take much. Just a few licks of brewed coffee, a sip of strong tea, or a nibble of a chocolate dessert can be enough to trigger dangerous reactions. Caffeine hides in more places than you might expect. Aside from drinks and chocolate, it can be found in pain medications, diet pills, weight loss supplements, energy gels, and pre-workout powders. Even used coffee grounds or tea bags can still contain enough caffeine to harm a curious cat who decides to chew or lick them. If you suspect your cat has ingested caffeine, don't wait for symptoms to worsen. Contact your veterinarian or an animal poison control center immediately. Early intervention can prevent seizures, heart failure, and death. Number 2. Coconuts. Coconuts might be a tropical treat for humans, but for cats, they're a risky food with more downsides than benefits. Both the flesh and the milk of coconuts contain medium-chain triglycerides, MCTs, and high levels of potassium, two components that can disrupt a cat's delicate internal balance. While MCTs aren't inherently toxic, they can be difficult for cats to digest, often causing vomiting, diarrhea, bloating, and general stomach upset. The potassium content is an even bigger concern. Cats need potassium in controlled amounts, and too much can cause hyperkalemia, a condition where excess potassium builds up in the bloodstream. This can lead to muscle weakness, low energy, irregular heartbeat, and in severe cases, cardiac arrest. Coconut water is especially problematic because it's naturally high in potassium and can deliver a dangerous dose very quickly. It's also important to remember that cats are much smaller than humans, so even a spoonful of coconut flesh, a few licks of coconut milk, or a splash of coconut water can represent a proportionally massive dose for their body weight. Coconut-based foods like smoothies, curries, desserts, and baked goods often combine coconut with other unsafe ingredients like sugar, chocolate, or spices, making them doubly hazardous. Number 1. Onions and garlic. Onions, garlic, shallots, and chives, whether raw, cooked, dried, or powdered, are highly toxic to cats. They contain a compound called N-propyl disulfide, which damages the hemoglobin and red blood cells, leading to Heinz body anemia. When enough red blood cells are destroyed, the body can't carry sufficient oxygen, putting a cat's organs under dangerous stress. The symptoms can appear hours to days after ingestion and may include pale gums, rapid breathing, weakness, lethargy, loss of appetite, vomiting, and dark tea-colored urine. In severe cases, the damage can require intensive veterinary care, blood transfusions, or may even be fatal. What makes these foods especially risky is that very small amounts can cause harm. A cat doesn't have to eat an entire onion. Licking a pan used to cook onions or garlic, tasting a sauce, or eating food seasoned with onion or garlic powder can be enough to trigger toxicity. Powders are particularly dangerous because they are more concentrated and often appear in unsuspecting places such as baby food, soups, sauces, salad dressings, flavored chips, and spice blends. Another hidden danger is human leftovers. Dishes like stir-fries, casseroles, or stews almost always contain onion or garlic in some form, making them unsafe for feline sharing.